Well,
Bless you.
thank you. This is a post session. What was it? 29. A Rocco and Pandora thing. All right, where do we leave off? Yes, very dramatic scene. Crying.
Yeah.
In the stables, and the stable master's like, we're closed for the day. Okay, so from there, where are we going?
So from there, so Rocco, still being a rather sniveling sort of mess, takes you to where the house is being built. There's trees that are, probably not showing any signs of growth. But there's a plot laid out basically. And takes you there specifically because nobody's fucking there.
Yeah. And we're gonna assume that it's nighttime. It's like,
yeah. At the very least, it's like sunset. Sits you down on like a log that's nearby the river, and just starts explaining everything. Starts explaining that when he was younger, as you know, he was a girl.
Yep.
And part of a noble family. Explains that part of being a noble is you have to marry other nobles. And the better family that you're in, the more beneficial it is for the families and, so on and so forth. And explains that there was a specific family that he was, supposed to be married into, which Rocky has the name. I forgot it already. The elf family.
The name would be the Altailu.
Altailu?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the name that was part of this dungeon. Which is one of the big reasons why he was super upset.
That makes a lot of sense now.
He continues talking though. He starts talking about how he had a fiance, and his fiance pretty much immediately found out that Irako was not supposed to be a girl, and all of that. He didn't want to be with someone who was unhappy, and Irako didn't want to be unhappy. So they came up with a plan, and Rocco's fiance created this scheme using his connections, his family connections, to help Rocco escape and meet up with these druids and sorcerers who specialize in transformative magic that would help Rocco be the man that he was supposed to be. The process was rather simple enough using potions, but, it wasn't a complete process. Magical surgeries had to be done at some points, but he didn't turn completely into a man. And after that happened, he could not go back home. Clearly. He blew everything up and was no longer a viable candidate for marriage into noble families, because now he, like who's gonna marry, someone like that? Not good breeding stock anymore, and so on. So he went and ran away and lived in the woods from that point on, and not even Tornado knows about his history or anything like that. The reason why he had a freak out in the, dungeon is the whole spell that helped transform him was incomplete, and it was supposed to be a different spell, and that spell is based in horrifying dark greed magic. Now the problem that makes him angry, and he starts, explaining like how this works, and if you have blood from hold on, I'm trying to remember the full thing. Rocky explained it good, but like the blood of the person, a sacrifice, then you take on the characteristics of that person, and it, but it makes you a full change of a person. You fully change into that. And if the person that you take the blood from is of elven lineage, it also increases your lifespan by a significant amount. But the problem is that Arako has now learned to love his body and loves who he is, and how y'all work with the bodies, and is really afraid of becoming something that does not feel like him. But at the same time, he also is incredibly afraid that if he does not do this, that I will live and die in just a moment of your life.
Oh my god. Ow.
And that's why Rocco fucking flipped out, is do I just throw caution to the wind and be something that I'm not happy with? Like, what if I fully, become man, with working man parts, and then, what if that messes things up for us, and what if I'm unhappy and I don't love my body, and all this?
So
and
I think like right when Iraq is expressing like it would ruin this, Pandora like would interrupt for a moment and like put her hand on his chest, and she would say like, I know that you want to be happy with your body, but for me it's I love you no matter what this shell is. It's hard to word, but how am I trying to put this? I fucking thought about this the other day. The way she would word this, and like how she would tell Rocco that she would love him no matter what was on the outside, but at the same time she wants to support something that makes him happy, not just her happiness, basically, and that she would do anything to help make sure that even if they couldn't, she feels like, and she expresses that even if they couldn't spend a lifetime together, even just a fraction of the time she has with him would be just worth everything. She'd prefer that he would stay around for a while, but even though
there's
thinking
also
about
another
it,
side.
Oh,
So this is also factoring in to the struggles and the rage. When Arako first did the transformation, he died to become who he is now. That is a huge part about this process. Who I am now is not who I used to be. I have memories and things like that, but I died.
it's almost like you were reborn into who you are now.
Yeah. And if I do this transformation again, I will die. It will be painful. Incredible amount of pain. The first time I did it was incredibly painful.
Pandora's like looking outwardly stressed. and like grabs both his hands. Again.
Sorry, point of correction. I won't die the second time around, but I'll wish I was dead. Thank you, Rocky. Listen, I'm not the magic person. I don't know enough.
So this
It
is
will be
something
the
that
most
you,
excruciating pain ever.
this is something
and
you want to do,
I
but you're
don't-
conflicted. Is that what I'm...
I would give almost anything to stay with you for the rest of my life. I would give anything. However, my life is very short, and I know that stresses you out. And
I've thought
if
about
me
it
being around
constantly.
longer makes me, makes you happy, then that's what I want, is for you to be happy.
Well, right back at you. I want you to be happy as well. But for you to go through excruciating pain that would make you want to die.
I don't go through that often.
Well, I mean, you've got people here that'll support you and keep you from, those instances that happened before, but I don't see it being as, those seem like it would be minor compared to what you've described.
I'm also not wanting to fuck about with this evil magic.
It's dark. It is dark.
It's dark magic. Like, you saw what we, dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the magic comes from.
I'm all too familiar with dark magic myself. In a way, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about you. I'm gonna support you no matter what. I just wonder what the others would think about this. Not that it's something that you have to tell them, but if it is something that you do pursue, do you feel like they have to know, that they need to know, that it might help that we're there? And she stops for a moment and reels back. I kind of thinking about the idea of being around just to see Rocco in pain.
The other thing is if, like, I just want to know what you want.
You?
Because your opinion matters. And
you, even if it's for 50 years or 1,000, I'll be satisfied either way. I'll be fulfilled. I've not led a fulfilling life until I came here. Until I met you and everyone. You especially. I didn't think I would ever know what love was. The only kind of love that I ever experienced was the love of a mother. Never the love of a lover. It's been
1 week. Sorry.
Go on.
No, I just you just said it's been, and I went 1 week.
Yep.
Yeah.
What it last 90 plus years, honestly, to not have to have ever experienced what I've experienced with you, Rocco. And thinking about that, I think I would do anything, face anything, and endure anything if it meant your total and complete happiness. Your happiness is my happiness.
Your happiness is my happiness.
Oh, I'm glad we agree on that.
Well, now we're at an impasse.
It is quite the impasse. because if I think about what it would be like if I was in your shoes, and in a sense, it's not the same, but I don't know. There's things I wouldn't go back to or want to experience again. But those things aren't dependent on the future. And yours is your future, our future. So I want you to decide, and I'll support you either way. I will love you no matter what, even if it's for a short time or if it's for a long time.
Yeah, but what if I suddenly get bad in bed?
I doubt it. Highly doubt it. I mean,
What if it looks weird?
Old age, perhaps. I mean, you know, I will deal with that when we get there. Okay.
What if it
Let's
comes
live
out
in the
looking
now.
like a cobra?
Wait.
Like everything is normal guy, and then cobra, just like a really angry looking snake.
We'll ask Emmett for his advice.
Just what if I come out bad, and then you're stuck with me for 1,000 years?
Then I'm stuck with you for 1,000 years. What if I... She pulls up her sleeves, showing her scales that are more prominent in her nails. What if I become a dragon and I'm never this again? What if I'm a dragon? Are you gonna love me for 1,000 years? It's like, what if I was a worm? Would you love me still?
Would you love me still if I was a worm, but like a big one with wings and claws, and I breathe fucking cold?
Well, that might be happening soon.
I hold your hands in my hands and kiss your forehead, and I look you dead in the eyes and say, I've seen Shrek. I know how this goes.
Donkey.
Donkey.
And the dragon. Listen, that was pure love. What are we afraid of? I mean, I'm afraid of a lot of things. And I know you are too. But again, I can't stress this enough. I'll do anything in my power to make sure that you're happy, no matter what you decide. And you've got Zarzith and me, and whether or not you decide to tell the others, I feel like in the end, they're gonna want you happy too. Now,
Yeah.
Vrocht, as he's not very partial to magic, me being called a witch, which I am not, it's gonna take a lot to speak with Vrocht about this if it comes to it. He's already not very fond of the magic we've encountered so far, especially anything dark-sided.
Yeah. Well, I think I should talk with Emmett about this. I feel like out of anyone, he would have the most knowledge. I barely understand this magic myself.
She smiles, and he's a good man. He is pretty much like a father to me, and
Yeah, I found that
learned-
out.
Yeah, I think it's funny that Pandora still doesn't know about the letters. So she kind of tilts her head. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you figured that out. I know you both talked. But without Emmett, I don't think that I would be who I am, where I am. Honestly, I think that I would be just another in a long line of cursed children who were just not meant for this world. Or so. That's what he said. That's what my father told me. not meant for this world.
You don't talk much about your family. I don't know if that's something you ever want to talk about, but I kind of did share a lot about
You
the
did.
worst parts of my life. If you're ever interested in sharing, I'm here for you.
I do. I want to share everything with you. There's things that even I am kind of in the dark about when it comes to my life and growing. It's been a long, like I said, it's been over almost a century. Well, no. Rocky, it's been how long since Pandora was stuck in that spot? She was exiled.
Are we talking like recently left with Emmett, or are we talking like
When she first was put there.
oh lord. I
She
think it was like 90 years.
She was like 7 or so, and that's 7 years old.
Yeah. I think it was like 90. What is she at now?
122 or 3?
122.
So about
yeah,
115 years ago, she was. Goddamn.
probably a little younger than that. So we can probably say maybe like 110 years.
So, what I will tell you is that I was born into a family of, very prestigious, very powerful, just a family that's well known back where we came from. I know that you've probably heard of the name Hel. They're a noble family, and the head of the Hel's Vandamo, my father, he's got more power than anybody I know. The power to cover things up, make people, things disappear. And when I was born, that's exactly what he wanted to do to me. Because I wasn't a full elf. I came out looking like this. And she kind of like, just spreads her arms, I wasn't exactly what he was hoping for when my mother gave birth. In fact, I came to learn that what I happened to be born as is something that has happened before. I looked into it, and there have been a couple like me born before, and I think maybe 2,000 or so years ago. There was, how many years ago? Yeah, 120 years ago from the day I was born, there was a child like me, and their life was ended because they were cursed. And then we traced this back at least 2,500 years. This is not the first time that, quote unquote, an abomination would be born to this noble family. And I was the first, as far as I know, that they, well, I say they, but my mother begged him to to let me live. My mother was nothing like Vandamo. So he let me stay. And it's hard to talk about this because I don't fully understand what happened or why.
Rocco just holds your hand.
People have... There's a reason why I'm called a cursed child. There have been 2 separate occasions where I have And I again, I can't even fathom how. Two people vanished, just gone off this plane. I don't know. Maybe I murdered them. They're gone for. One of them was my mother. Her hands are shaking when she says this. I thought I killed my mother because I was angry that she didn't want to stay. And this was after Vandemo sent me to some place out in the middle of nowhere with maids who hardly talked to me. They acted like I wasn't there, fed me, gave me books, helped me study, but otherwise I was it was like I was invisible, you know, just there to exist and to be served and hidden away. That was the only reason and the only way that I could live, honestly. Otherwise, I think my father would have murdered me just right out of my mother's womb.
Araka didn't make that noise, I did. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Like, this is me talking out of character, but these children that were born before her were snuffed out very, very quickly, and anything about the curse would like be snuffed out. Like the rumors, they'd make sure that anybody knew or had heard about it were killed. Like they made sure that this curse never saw the light of day, so it wasn't something that people knew about back on Confra, the Kingdom of Grayton. So there was how many? Let's see. One or two before Pandora. So like 120 years after like the one before her, who was like straight up just fucking murdered by her family. Well, by her father and his army, and his whoever. I mean, maybe not an army, just people that he has, you know. They go and cover shit up and kill people and make sure nobody knows, and if they know, they're gone. So yeah, she was born 120 years later, came out with horns, you know, with tail, pointy ears, and her mama was like, "Oh, I'm so in love," and her father was like, "Kill it. Nope, this isn't happening again." And she begged him, "Please let me keep her. And so I'm looking at my notes here. So he decided that once Pandora drew her first breath that she would be cast out, banished, forgotten. And so he spoke with like wizards, warlocks, clerics, and he made sure that Pandora was hidden away. So nobody would know about her existence except for, you know, the people he told, his confidants, and of course her mother. And Pandora, I don't know, did Pandora tell Irako her real name? That her real name's not Pandora?
I can't remember. I think you might have, but I don't know if you shared that with me. I don't know, because like I remember you were saying like, oh, I want to share my name with you. If you want to share your name with me, and I was like, no, I'm not sharing my name because I don't even know it at the time. I was like, I don't even know what my name was.
We could retcon that shit. So I think Pandora would be like, I was born Alira.
Yes. Okay.
Elvira
Yeah,
Hell.
you did share it with me.
That's what my mother named me. And she loved me the most. Anybody else in that big fucking castle, again, acted like I didn't exist or spit in my general direction. You know, I was a stain, just like that fucking scarecrow said, just a fucking tainted mark on this world, just something that shouldn't exist, you know?
You know that's not true, right? And I grab your hands tighter and go, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
I'm
Your father was a horrible
believe that.
person.
He is, and I'm afraid of him. I'm more afraid of him than I am of anything else in this world. Because there was the maid who made me angry, who disappeared, and again, like I said, my mother, she's gone. And when she didn't return home, my father found out, and the first person he wanted to blame and had every right to was me. So Emmett and I decided that we would board. I forgot the name of the ship. And
SS, fuck off.
yeah.
Whatever it was.
That we would go and Rucht had every right to be frustrated. Emmett and I spent a very long time, decades, trying to figure out what this curse is, and it led us to a month. Sorry, not a month. The continent that we're on. Terra Monstorum led us here. That and because we're on the run, we're fugitives. Because my father wants to end my life. He wants to make sure that whatever this curse is, whatever caused my mother to vanish, and for the other woman who, honestly, God, she was such an asshole. But the thing is, like, I didn't want her to die or whatever happened to her. She was just a bully. Not like my father, but she was pretty harsh with her words. And it's
so
like,
they disappeared because you got mad?
I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but I've spoken to Emmett quite a bit, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rocky, but I think Pandora was told that her mother is not dead. She's just not here. Not in this plane of existence. Is that what?
Believed to be dead
Believed to
at
be dead.
first,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point, it might not be the case anymore.
Emmett told her that, right?
Yes, he was still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so...
Well, technically he has figured that out, but there are other things brewing at the moment before that's fully
and Pandora
figured out.
really, she'll express this to Raga. She's like, I don't know what to believe, honestly. And she's holding the locket that her mother gave her. She gave me this, and there's a blue glowing stone in it, and it is the stone that actually is the conduit for summoning Zarzith. I don't think she's told you the story about getting and discovering Zarzith and whatnot, but
No, I don't think that you shared that with me.
okay, yeah. And then everybody experienced the whole, what does he call her? The something prophet.
Dearest prophet.
What is and I always wonder, prophet of what? I've always been referred to as a cursed child. Prophet. Anyway, I came here searching for answers, and it seems like when I find something or get close to answers, there's more questions, and whatever happened to my mother and that woman, I don't want it to happen to you or Rucht or anybody else. Because I don't know what caused it. I don't know if it was anger, sadness, or maybe it was both.
Well, I'm not going away that easy. You're stuck with me. You could get as mad as you want. I'm staying right here.
What if I get so angry that you just poof out of existence? What do I do then?
I'll poof right back. You think I'm not coming back? If only to yell at you and say never do that shit again? You think I would give up that easy? No.
No.
Don't worry about me. And Vrucht, impossible. You've seen how stubborn he is. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's
and
not.
I'm pretty sure Tapman is like magic secret wizard who
I think he's probably a god.
I'm scared of him.
I'm impressed
I
by
don't know
him.
what's I'm amazed by him, but I literally have no idea what his deal is. I have no clue. I
There's
guarantee
something-
you, like
there's something
if you
about
try
mystery.
and poof him, he will transform the world around us into whatever.
He did come down like a comet, and he uses the moon to attack things.
He has the power of the sun and the moon. You
moon.
think you could poof him?
No, probably
Yeah.
not. I think he'd poof me before I poofed him.
Yeah.
I love how we're using the term poof. Oh man.
So you don't have to worry about us.
Honestly,
You're stuck with all of us until the day we die.
it's not something I want to think about. Honestly, the only thing that I've felt since I met everyone is how would I put this? I've not felt anger. I was a little angry today, or rather in the last week or so, but not angry at you. Just angry about your sadness, about your anger. Because I know what it's like to be angry and beyond sad. Words can't even describe how angry and sad I felt alone for decades, for so long, until Emmett came along. And if it wasn't for Emmett, God, I wouldn't be the summoner I am today, honestly.
I'm really glad that you had him.
Me too. Him and Slimy, Slippy, Slobby. And not to mention Zarzith, who... You were there. We witnessed what he is. I'll tell him, oh, he's so amazing when we go and do things. And he knows. I mean, God, we got to glimpse his final form, if that's what that was.
That was crazy.
It happened before, but it's been so many years, it was kind of a blur, but I saw him before we bound, we connected, whatever summoners do with their Eidolon.
Kiss.
I can't, yeah, we kissed. He kept calling out to me, and I found him. But yeah, so, I'm running. I've been running, and we found a place here with everyone, and it's the first time I've had what I consider a family. And don't tell Vrucht I said that, please.
Yeah, I won't. Hold on. Can you roll a perception check after I said no, I won't?
Wait. Is the thing still up? Hold on.
Just roll something.
Can I
It
roll
doesn't
something
matter.
in? There, we have requested
Roll a
rolls.
d20. anywhere.
How do I do this?
Any flavor of D20.
It was a 4.
Oh, then yeah, I won't. You truly believe I'm not going to say anything to Brock?
Good. But what about, you know? I wasn't supposed to say anything about this, but it's you. You were there. You saw Ruck pulled me aside, right? To have a conversation because things were kind of tense, you know, about coming here and discovering that this land isn't as undiscovered as we thought prior. And it's our fault that shit's happening. All of our fault. Not just mine. Anyway, he, please don't tell him I told you. I think he might murder me. He gave me a hug. Rather, you know what? I take it back. He let me hug him.
I don't think he's gonna murder you. I really don't, because if he wanted to murder you, he would.
He might murder me if you tell anybody else about that. I don't think Brooke's a hugger. I think he just saw that I was very in need of one.
Yeah. I won't tell anyone that he hugged you.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't want an axe to the head. I don't want to have to use magic on him. I will, but I don't want to. Unless he asks. Enlarged.
Yeah.
Cough, cough.
I'm sorry that you got to see me at my absolute worst, and then I didn't talk for a week.
I forgive you. And, well, if we happen to be together for 50 years, 1,000, I doubt that's gonna be the last time, Morocco. And it might be me next time.
Oh boy.
Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows on this roller coaster that we're on? I don't know what a roller coaster is, honestly.
Yeah. Nosebleed. Nosebleed.
What is a roller coaster? I just kind of pull. Wait, are you actually having a nosebleed? Oh God.
No. Yeah. It's just the joke when you break the fourth wall.
Oh,
the
yeah.
character's nose just bleeds and you're like, oh God. Too much information.
Pandora's questioning like life and the universe and everything. Like, what the fuck is the roller coaster?
Suddenly the world implodes upon itself, and now we are in Fortnite Season 4.
Oh. My biggest fear, I think. What do you think? Because I'll tell you what I think.
I think your father thought you were cursed because you were a curse for him. I think who you are is magical and powerful and something that he should fear, but not for the reasons that he told you. I think Vrucht is secretly a sweet person and is...
Oh, this I know. The way he loves on all of our animals and on Zarzith and...
Yeah, he's secretly a softie.
He's such a softie. Which also
I have a
we
feeling
should
that
not
he
tell
would
him
be
that.
very good at baking. You know, something about him gives off like he could be a baker vibes.
Honestly, yes. I think what we need to do is like just
kind of shove him into the bakery and just be like, here, go.
Or shove him into the back of the bar and see if he can just bake us some stuff. Let's have
just make us some tapas. See what happens.
And we should drink until we black out because it's been a hell of a few months.
Mm. And I think Tapman is hiding a lot.
I had a drink or 12 with him. And yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you about that. Yeah, no, I found him at the tavern and he was having a drink and I joined him. And I might have mentioned the slave thing. It didn't go anywhere from there. Well, I didn't want to pry, but I was a little drunk. I respect that he keeps things to himself. But I hope he doesn't feel like he can't trust us. I don't think that's the case, though.
Yeah.
There's some things that we experience that are not really worth speaking about. They only bring back pain.
Yeah.
As if it happened, you know.
I just think he's a little... There's something up about him. Not necessarily bad. He's got some secrets, and I want to crack that man like a walnut.
Well, that's what a tavern night's for.
And lastly, and I just put my hand against her cheek and I go, when it comes to me and what I think about me, I think I'm stupid in love with you. Because I had to give my review of everybody. It's like, I can't leave myself out. I gotta give my
Pandora
thoughts on me.
is like, okay, she's like lavender colored, right? So her blushing,
just deep purple.
Yep, instantly deep purple. That's the first time Rocco said that word. This is inner monologue.
Wait, I've never said that I loved you?
Pandora's like said it in a way, right? That like it's not directly "I love you." It's the kind of.
Oh, I've never said it to you. That's so right.
Yep, that's this. Yep, Pandora's like jaw.
That's why you turned deep purple. I didn't even realize it.
Well, I feel the same, and it's kind of obvious. You're kind of obvious.
You feel how?
What?
What? How do you feel?
I feel that I am eternally and deeply in love with you, Arako. And whether it's
he just kisses you and makes you shut up. Just shut up. Just stop talking. Don't fucking fill it with words and add on. You just leave it at that. Just shut up.
Oh, the struggle with the social part of life for these two. Oh my god, especially for fucking Pandora. Yeah.
I think Rocco is finally like coming into his own a little. He's getting all confident and saying stuff. And he's talking to you
and
about
yelling
his
at the
feelings.
GM who's in the heavens above. Oh my god.
I think I'm good on this micro RP sesh. If there's anything else you want to cover, I think Rocco just wants to fucking do nasty with you. I think he's kind of done with his sad moment, and he's just like, yeah, okay, cool. So we both love each other now.
Fade to black. No.
Fade to black.
Take me to our spot. Fade to black. Ay, Dios. I swear, if this was a table session, it'd be like that TikTok I sent you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'd look at each other and be like, tee.
Just loud crunching popcorn in the background.
I'm literally eating Doritos as we were doing this.
And I was drawing. I don't know what the fuck this is, but
Yeah, no. Beans, have a look at the, there's two things. I got the one thing in general, and then there's the one thing in no context quotes.
I saw the
'Cause
one in
Also,
no context.
miles
quotes.
away, Bruck feels that somebody's talking about him in a way that he doesn't like and just growls to himself.
Random sneeze because someone was talking about him. Growls for no reason.
I love that.
would you still love me? If I
Also,
was
Bruck has
aware?
a +0 to crafting, so I really wouldn't get your hopes up on baking.
It'd still be funny to have him attempt.
No.
I love
I know
that.
someone who can bake, though.
Man, you know what? I was listening to the earlier, like the first prologue session, and God, I really wish I could have stuck with the voice for Pandora.
Oh, it's one of those things that you either do or don't. You got to be
Yeah.
committed to the bit.
Yeah, and I've been watching like bits and pieces of Critical Role, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, these voice actors are fucking good, and like, at least I do voices.
Also,
in-
keep in mind, those are some of the best voice actors in the business. So
They
They
are.
do it
prepare
for a
yourself.
living.
Yeah, but you know, in GTA RP, every character that I play has a voice that's slightly
Yeah.
different than the other, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you
Yeah.
know, I wanted to do that with this.
This was, to be fair, it started as something, oh, let's entertain each other. No, it soon went down to, this is us unwinding and escaping. This is just
Yeah.
normal.
I even forgot the voice that I chose for her.
It was like something vaguely British, partly French.
Maybe a little Russian, a little bit Russian. I don't know. Fuck if I know.
Some form of East Central European.
Yes.
I don't even remember if I did a voice for Rocco. I think I wanted to, and then I gave up on that fast.
And you're like,
Yeah.
nah, fuck it.
She would have been like, I am deeply, very deeply in love with you, Rocco. Something like that.
I love your face.
I love your face. I love you.
Bruck, very
Huh?
rowdy voice that hurts in
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave up on that fast. You were like, I'm
Well,
Yeah,
in
you,
'cause it was
pain.
you still
painful.
kind of do, you know, you got a cadence when you
You have to do
speak
it
as
in
Bruck.
small bursts, yeah.
I love how Bruck insulted Pandora on her grunt.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, that's the furthest thing from an insult. That's
Mhm.
Bruck saying, like, I want to spend time with you enough to
Ugh.
make you not sound like shit when you grunt.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a compliment.
Now I can only wonder what y'all fools would like to look into, see, or understand in the next roleplay episode, because if you give me ideas, that gives me something to base music off of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah,